Hi, this is Peggy van de Plasch. I speak about microdosing psilocybin for personal transformation. So today I want to talk about how microdosing actually improve my athletic performance. And, I have natural athletic ability, but I never ever shine in any sport. And over the years, I tried many activities. I mean, judo, dance, handball, squash, kickboxing, fencing, volleyball. Anyway, I tried pretty much everything. But I never really had it in me to have this confidence to go for it. And so I ended up being at worst mediocre and at best average in most of my attempts. But I would say that one of the unexpected benefits of microdosing psilocybin has been the improvement of my athletic performance. I noticed that both while playing tennis, but also skiing. And it doesn't really take a big leap of faith to expect this to happen in any sport. So two buckets, I would say, really helped me: physical and mental upgrades. And these mental and physical upgrades will be beneficial in many other areas of your life. But today I'm focusing on sport. So first, the physical benefits. So there is something very interesting that the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies mentioned. So they say the extreme sports underground have been using psychedelics for more than 40 years to increase reflex time to lightning speed, improve balance to the point of perfection, increase concentration until you experience this tunnel vision, and make you impervious to weakness or pain. So I noticed some of that. So the first thing I noticed was increased focus. So, the ability to focus and concentrate is really one of the key and very widely recognized benefits of microdosing psilocybin. So focus is usually perceived as helpful, in the context of intellectual endeavors like writing, reading, studying. But it comes very handy as well while playing sports because it reduces the distractions and really increase your single-mindedness on the game. So that's the first thing, increase focus. The second thing is decrease reaction time. And so the increased reactivity is also, a valuable byproduct of microdosing psilocybin. So psilocybin is known to make individuals feel more present, and you will have a perception that time expands. So obviously that allows you to decrease your reaction time just because it feels like things slow down, kind of. In addition, your visual abilities, because you have a better sense of contrast and depth, improved, and that really supports your very fast reflex time. So that's the second thing, decrease reaction time. The third thing is optimize balance. So that's another interesting benefits of psychedelics, is this improved sense of balance. So once again, the more acute vision combined with an unobstructed focus allow the players to be really graced by a greater sense of balance that is helpful, in most sports. And the last thing, and I mentioned that in the past, is heightened presence. This is a super important aspect of sport or anything, as being more connected to our body and being in the moment are really key contributors to great physical performance. So this seamless relationship between the mind and the body really allows us to more easily be in a state of flow. So I have experienced, the benefits I just mentioned while I was playing sport, and that has definitely improved my results. However, for me, the big challenge was the mental aspect of sport. It's really where I needed the most support. So, and I think it's also where I see the biggest opportunities for most players to increase their performance. So that's the second bucket, mental benefits. So as I mentioned, for me, the mental aspects of sport really used to be my Achilles heel, and when I watch fellow sportsmen and sportswomen, it is a common challenge, I believe. And, really from anxiety, limiting belief, debilitating stress, for me, there used to be not a lot of playing in sport. And I mean, despite the total lack of stake in my athletic endeavors, I was not competing for Wimbledon or Roland Garros. So microdosing psychedelics has greatly helped me in not only becoming a better player, but also in bringing the fun back in sport, which is, I think, what we all want. So the first thing, the first mental benefits is stress reduction. I used to be so stressed when playing sport, any sport, all the time. Even if I was just taking a tennis lesson, I would grip my racket very tightly. I would overthink my shots. I would exert great control over my body, which make it very stiff. So I was obviously performing well below my physical ability with all of that. So psilocybin has greatly helped me by calming my nervous system and also bringing more flexibility in both my mind and my body. So I now play with less self-imposed pressure, and that has greatly improved the quality of my shots. Last week, for the first time, I went skiing since I started microdosing, and I saw a big improvement in my performance. The greater ease in my mind and body has allowed me to ski faster and smoother, regardless of the number of skiers around me and the quality of the snow. So stress reduction, one of the great benefits, mental benefits, which will help you very much with sports. The second thing is releasing some limiting belief. And the first one is, I am not good enough to play. And I have seen this limiting belief in action in many of my fellow racket players. So not long ago, my tennis club organized a friendly round-robin tournament for the members. So nothing competitive. The goal was really to have a social activities after months, or should I say years, of nothingness due to COVID. Most players, and what's interesting is that across gender, race, age, I mean, like there was no really commonalities. Most players were extremely anxious to play for pretty much the same reason. They were terrified to play poorly and disappoint their teammates and opponents. And you know what? I could relate because I used to suffer from that fear too, and in that regard, microdosing has really helped me with putting this limiting belief to bed, thanks to increased awareness. And I would say the combination of psychedelics and healing modalities such as tapping meditation, but also hypnosis, visualization, have totally freed me from the stress of disappointing teammates and opponents. So now I'm happy to play, whether I play well enough or not. So that is very important to be able to release that. The second limiting belief that is important to release as well is I should not shine too bright. So many of us consciously or unconsciously picked up that super damaging limiting belief during our childhood, whether it plays out in our career, in our relationship, in our physical activities. This upper limit prevents us to give our best athletic performance in a misguided attempt to protect us. So whether we unconsciously believe that we won't be liked, we will be attacked, or it is arrogant to shine too brightly, anyway, we will self-sabotage our attempts at better results to align our results with our belief. So if you believe you shouldn't be too good, well, you can do whatever you want. You won't play too good because that's what you believe you should be doing. So it's as if you're driving with a foot on the accelerator and the other one on the brake. It is exhausting and it is inefficient. So similarly to the limiting belief number one, microdosing psilocybin has really helped me to get way more comfortable with playing to win and actually winning and enjoying winning and not feeling bad about winning. And so instead of being in that extremely small box where I needed to play well enough to play to please others, but not too well also to please others, now I give my best performance regardless of the situation, and that's extremely pleasant. The next mental benefits is to minimize performance anxiety. I used to be so anxious prior to a tennis game that I would not be able to sleep the night before. Not that I'm playing competitively, as I mentioned. I just started playing tennis during the pandemic, so that's pretty recent. And I just play ladder game in my little local tennis club. So again, no big stake. But my anxiety was such that no matter the infinitely low stakes, I would systematically endure a sleepless night, which obviously was a guarantee for low performance. And many players I know are in the same boat. They won't even play ladder games because of their anxiety. Personally, I always refuse to have my anxiety dictate what I could and couldn't do in my life. So I always would, regardless, engage in anxiety-inducing activities. But that was not helping me having a lot of fun or satisfying results. So thanks to microdosing, I have been able to manage my anxiety way down, which has been life-changing in my day-to-day life, including sport. And the last mental benefit is increasing flow and fun. And, after all, we play sport. We don't work sport. Now, I really have fun and an increased sense of flow when I play. Instead of being, something I need to struggle with and fight against, I approach my physical activity as a game, which it should, And maybe it's obvious to some, but I think most of us have been so conditioned to constantly perform that we forget why we are doing things in the first place. And being able to play, give my absolute best, enjoy it, and get great results have been, like nothing short of magical for me. So, as always, I just wished I had started the microdosing process earlier, but, better late than never. So the beauty of microdosing psilocybin for me has been the massive number of benefits I received in every part of my life. Regaining a zest for life, improving my outlook on life were really the two main reasons I started this process. But, not only my enthusiasm for life and my outlook became much more positive, but I also increased my creativity, my flexibility. I would say increasing my flexibility mentally and physically. I increased my ability to hope, my ability to dare, as well as my overall mental and physical ability. So, I'm really getting more life and I'm getting more of life. So, I hope you're enjoying these videos. I hope you enjoy this video in particular on physical activities. I'm sure you can make the parallel with a lot of other activities you're doing. And I'm really, really happy to share all of that with you. I really believe that microdosing psilocybin is amazing in terms of personal transformation. And I'm really thankful for you to watch and listen. It's really fun for me to share my experience. Have a wonderful day and talk to you next week. Bye.